For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, we are live and amplified. So let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Welcome, everybody, to another live and amplified livecast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we are live here at LNAMusicReview down by the river. Got a whole bunch of podcasts coming up over the next couple days, weeks, however long it takes me to release all these. But, you're all listening post-production anyways. So we got an amazing musician. We've had an opportunity to chat a few times via Facebook Messenger, maybe Instagram Messenger. We got Colton French. How's it going today, man?
It's going. It's been a nice day. Got off work, got to take my time driving in. I don't go on until midnight, so I'm just killing time pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah,
I saw you pull in shortly after I pulled in. I was sitting over here, and I saw you. I think you're parked over here or camped out over here, and
yeah.
I was just like, I think I know him, but we'll find out here shortly. And so it's definitely a cool vibe. Is this your first time playing in a jam?
No, I've been here. This is my third time, so
okay.
Every single year so far.
Every single year. Yeah, I remember Dustin telling me to come down last year. I wasn't around for the first one because I think he was just trying to keep it a little bit smaller and a little bit more intimate and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for the second one, he was trying to get me to come down, and I couldn't because of some personal stuff that was going on at the time. But I'm really glad I was able to make it here this year and, work. I was hoping to be here yesterday, but, sometimes things get in the way, and
yeah.
Glad to be here now. So for anybody that's just getting to meet you for the first time, kind of take this opportunity to introduce yourself and just kind of what you're about.
Okay, yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter based out of Bryan College Station. Been doing it for a number of years. Bouncing around. I've kind of been the best kept secret for a little while because transmission issues on my old truck. I haven't been able to get out of town, so finally was able to get a new vehicle squared away, and just in time to clear the pandemic. So
that's what's up.
Branching out a little bit, but yeah, I do acoustic stuff. I've got one album that I released in 2018. I'm hopefully about to release my second. I say hopefully. It just all depends on cash flow, but it should be out by the end of the year. I've got Wes Barlow doing fiddle on that. It's all coming together pretty well.
Nice. I think it's funny that the guy from Bryan College Station is sitting under the A&M photos on the ceiling here.
Yeah.
Did you go to A&M or?
I did.
Okay.
I was class of 2016.
Okay.
I did a victory lap though, so got out a year late.
Gotcha. Yeah, we got a lot of people that I work with that went to A&M, and that's all they talk about is all the traditions and all this stuff, and just so I work in Waco, so the little comments back and forth from the Baylor graduates to the A&M graduates, it's just like, that put all you guys in one room and just watch you go at it for a while. That's humorous to me. So
yeah. Being perfectly honest, I'm a little bit of a 2%er, so I'm usually the guy that's just kind of hanging back, just letting them go while I drink all the beer.
Yeah, I feel that. So are you born and raised Bryan College Station, or where are you from originally?
Originally from Kerrville.
Okay.
So just right down the river here. But yeah, it always feels like coming home.
Yeah. Coming
back to get right along the Guadalupe, and it's just always a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. You scream Texas through and through. Like, just everything about you, your aura, your chilled back nature, your laid back nature. It's just like, this is what I imagine everybody born and raised in Texas is all about. So.
Yeah, I know. When you get outside the Golden Triangle, for sure.
Yeah. So we're at this. You mentioned that this is your third year here at LNAMusicReview. I'm gonna just call it LNAMusicReview because it's a big old mouthful to say the whole title of the thing. How, from your perspective, how has the festival kind of grown? How?
It's astronomical. That first year was just kind of a small, intimate, I guess, gathering of friends, and it was put together really well. Dustin's got a knack for the administrative side of it.
Yeah.
So we just kind of got things going and trucked on through and had a good time that first year. The second year was much the same, but started to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Saw the roster kind of fill out a little more media presence. Dustin was definitely making an effort to get it out there, and of course this year got the Damn Quails headlining, and it's growing quick. It's rapidly becoming something.
Cool. Yeah.
Something I think it's going to be important.
Oh yeah.
It already is, but something that's going to be a little more culturally significant.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes, and hopefully every year we get to come back, and it's going to be fun. And just the little bit that I've seen, I was kind of prepping my bags and stuff, sitting back over here somewhere, and just all the people that came up and said hi. I was like, that's a Texas thing, but even in Waco, people don't just randomly come up and say hi.
Yep.
So, really excited for the festival, and you play tonight at midnight.
Yep, right down on the campfire stage, and it'll be that's where all the fun usually is at, and it's all fun, but it starts to get fun right around the campfire stage. Really fun around the campfire stage, and then it carries over into the after party from there. So
nice, that's what's up.
Yeah, prime time slot.
Yeah, and I mean it's just unfortunate that it's I guess it doesn't really matter because performing is performing. You're gonna be up till 6 a.m. anyways, because from what they were telling me earlier, all the jam sessions and whatnot, good luck trying to get to sleep at 4 or 5 anyway. So where you mentioned that you're working on a new album, right?
Yep.
Where you or how long has that kind of been in the process?
It's been in the process, honestly, 2.5 years.
Okay.
It's been a long project. Some of it, wrenches were thrown in it with the vehicle, with the pandemic and all that. And there for a while, I was renting a car to go and visit the studio. I'm recording with Jake Whalen, buddy of mine, another singer-songwriter who's doing pretty good. He's got a trailer on his property that he's got rigged out as like a guest house and recording studio, and so we've been doing it there. He's done most of the instrumentation on it. Of course, played the guitar, and I've got Wes Barlow, like I mentioned, doing fiddle. But aside from that, it's really just been me and him, and he's kind of just starting to get into the recording game, but he's a knockout, man. He's doing a hell of a job. I'm thoroughly excited for how it sounds. I started out kind of doing just like a traditional folk kind of thing, flat top steel string, and playing the bass line with a pick and throwing melody with my fingers, and I got really into Leonard Cohen for like a couple of years. I still am. He's my guy.
Nice.
He's a saint, but so kind of mellow. My sound kind of mellowed as a result, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Of course, we're all influenced by our heroes, but picked up this classical guitar, and this album's a little bit softer, a little bit darker, more mysterious kind of vibe going for it.
Nice.
I'm thrilled to release it. I think it's kind of going for where ultimately I see myself going as a songwriter.
And this whole thing kind of kicked off right around the pandemic starting, right? Like, if my math is correct, like as far as like the starting to work on the album, or was the plan?
So I started working on the album late 2019.
Okay, so it was before the pandemic.
Yeah, just a few months before
Okay.
we got started, and then everything just kind of went to hell. And I kept working on it, but it was like a little bit here and there. I was renting cars to drive down to Taylor to visit Jake, and
Gotcha.
and now I've got all my stuff recorded. Basically, everything's recorded except 3 fiddle parts,
Nice.
background vocals, and after that, it's just mixing and mastering.
So are you looking at early 2023, or you think you'll get it out this year?
I'm hoping I can get it out by the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
If all else fails, January 2023 at the latest. I'm about to send off 2 more fiddle parts. So after that, it's just 1 fiddle part, 1 vocal part, and then mixed master. So
nice.
yeah.
I often underestimate how long or overestimates how long it usually takes to mix and master. Like especially when you got somebody that does it all the time, and
yeah,
you know.
Fortunately, I've got a good guy, Tom over at BCS Recording. Dude, he did my first album. We busted that out in a matter of months. He's a wizard. He really is.
Nice. And so tonight you're set solo acoustic, or you got your
just me. So.
Nice. What about other? You'd mentioned that for the last few years that you were kind of just stuck around Bryan College Station.
Yeah.
Are you now that you got your car situation figured out? Are you starting to branch out? Obviously, you're playing here, but
yeah, I just bought the car last month.
Okay.
So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
It's after 2 years of the pandemic and kind of being isolated to BCS. It's kind of starting all over in some regards.
Yeah.
A lot of cold calls, cold emails. So it's a little bit of a grind, but I've got once the album is out, I've got some things in the works as far as booking with a buddy of mine who is getting his booking agency back up and going.
Yeah.
So things will hopefully be picking back up.
Yeah.
Here in just a little bit.
That's cool. And it's one of those situations where maybe it's one of those times where you need to find a band friend or like a band that's out touring and just like, hey, can I open for you, just to kind of get yourself back out there and rebuilding the connections and what have you. Like, it sounds a little shady, but I mean in reality, every touring act needs an opener. So
yeah, I mean that's kind of how it operates. It's kind of a who you know basis. And
that's cool. So kind of moving forward for the rest of the year, what is your show situation looking like? Are you playing every week, or what's going on?
Right now, every other week.
Okay.
Every other week, mostly local BCS. Every now and again, something where I'll pop out the town for a short ways and come back. And so,
nice.
Yeah.
What's the scene like in BCS?
It was pretty vibrant before the pandemic, and it's still holding on after, but the number of venues has reduced a little bit.
Yeah.
But I host an open mic every Wednesday night at the 101. Nice. I play there once a month, 5 Knocks once a month. We've got a couple of pretty good venues. Third Floor Cantina. That one, of course, was a big name in the blues scene for a while. Buddy of mine still has a receipt from when B.B. King played there.
Nice.
But it's still holding on.
That's cool. Yeah, because right before the pandemic, I had a bunch of musicians from BCS that came up. We were doing like some Christmas acoustic sessions, just because I was looking to kind of meet new people, meet new musicians and all that fun stuff. And so we had a bunch of people drive up from BCS in like November and all that stuff. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Mary Charlotte and them, or
I haven't met her yet.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be on the podcast at some point today, and then Jack Nelson.
Yeah, I don't know Jack.
Yeah,
but MC's a good friend of mine.
He came up, and then there was somebody else, I can't remember who it was that came up, but it was interesting. And everybody at work, so I work for a TV station up in Waco, and then we also have a station down in Bryan College Station. And everybody that's young wants to be down in Bryan College Station because there's just a lot more to do there. So it's just like, okay, I see. That makes sense. So as far as just kind of the rest, what are you looking for the rest of the weekend? Looking forward to?
Really just hanging out, catching up with old friends that I hadn't seen in a year since this time last year. Playing down at the campfire stage, I feel like that's one of the most fun sets to play because it's I mean everybody's listening all the time, but it's more intimate. Everybody's just kind of right there around you. So
that's what's up.
It's
that's pretty much an acoustic stage, right? Is that pretty much what y'all do there? Is acoustic stuff? That's cool. I'm excited to kind of be around and just catch shows as I can as like the podcast will allow, and I'm really excited to be here and be a part of it early on, and then just kind of continue coming out every year. So For you personally, if anybody wants to check out your music or any of that stuff, where can they catch you?
So I've got a website, coltonfrench.com. I was pretty lucky nobody's took that yet. Pretty simple, easy to remember. I've got Facebook, Instagram. Facebook is facebook.com/coltonfrenchmusic. It used to be the diabolical Colton French, but that was way too much to try to type. And Instagram is Colton, or at Colton_French_music. I've got an album. The first one from 2018 is out on iTunes, Spotify, the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
A couple of South African streaming sites that I didn't know existed until I released it. Came with the package, but
you're gonna end up being like, what's the name of that documentary? Or that musician from Saving Sugarman.
Yeah,
Rodrigo. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't realize that he was a massive star in South Africa.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny because my cousin's husband is from South Africa, and I asked him about it, and he was like, "I know of him, but my mom knows more about him." And I was just like, "Oh, that's so funny." And so, cool. And then before we wrap this up, what's a piece of advice you got for the young musicians out there?
Really two things. One's kind of more generic, just keep doing it. No matter what anybody says, just keep writing. Every time you write, it's going to get better. Keep playing. Keep doing whatever you can to just go for it. If it's what you want to do, it's what you want to do, and really fuck anybody that tells you no. And on that is pretty practical, but on a more practical level, Ray Wiley Hubbard recommended a book to me called The Craft of Lyric Writing by Sheila Davis. And the first 3 chapters were really, really helpful for me as far as like getting my writing down. After that, I didn't find it quite as useful, but I highly recommend picking up the book because the first 3 chapters were revolutionary for me. The rest of the book may be revolutionary for somebody else. So.
How'd you get introduced to Ray Wiley Hubbard?
Went up and talked to him after a show one day. He's a pretty approachable guy.
Gotcha.
Actually, I talked to him on Facebook for a little bit. Then I met him after one of the shows, and I'll never forget it. I handed him a lyric that I'd written, and he kind of scrolled down it for a little bit with his finger, then kind of backtracked through a verse, reread it, backtracked, reread it again, looked up at me with his eyes big around his dinner plate, said, "That's pretty fucking good. Keep up with it."
That's what's up. That's cool.
Yeah.
But once again, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a blast finally getting to meet you and chatting a little bit, and hopefully once the full album's ready to drop, we'll get you on and we'll do a big old podcast and talk about the album and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you all here in a bit.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.